Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So it just dawned on me that there were a few very important coaching hires that I never got a chance to speak about, and so I want to take this opportunity to do that here. First of all, congratulations to everybody who was hired. Got some pretty good names out there, and I'm pretty sure there are more to follow. But the first name we're going to talk about is the Portland Trailblazers hiring Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups, I think, was a very important hire because Chauncey Billups' name is Mr. Big Shot, and we all know Dame Time is pretty much the closest thing to that, if not an even more superior version of that than he was. Um, and at this point, you want to try to keep Dame happy. You want to make sure that Dame feels like he's in a space that he can build and win in, more so than win in. And then most importantly, you want him to be comfortable with the coaching change because the very first one he's had to deal with. So they need to knock this one out of the park, and I think Chauncey Billups was a very good choice from a personality standpoint. I have reasons to believe he's going to be a fantastic coach, but we really never know until a person gets there how that goes. But he's a rookie coach. It's going to be the first time he has an opportunity to be a head coach. But we know he's been an assistant, and we know what type of role that he's had on the teams that he's been a part of as well. So, like I said, I think this is a fantastic hire. We will find out what his philosophy is, how he wants to run his team, how he adjusts to certain things, how he handles timeouts, situations like that, timing things that will come along with more reps as a coach, how he handles adjustments, injuries, and the unforeseen, which is what the last several years has taught us is very important. You want somebody who can handle anything. And when you talk about personalities that we believe have proven that they have ice in their veins and can handle things with poise and class and will represent the organization in a way that they respect, Chauncey Billups, top of the list for me. He's one of the best in that area. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the Blazers. I like the idea of him going to the Blazers as well because if history is an indicator, they are about stability as it pertains to the coaching position. Terry Stotts was there for many years, much to the chagrin of people like myself who was calling for him to be fired many years ago. But they showed a certain level of stability and loyalty, and I would expect that to be extended to Chauncey Billups if he does a very good job as well. So that's what I think. Fantastic coaching hire from a personality perspective. The thing is we just don't know what his philosophies are going to be. So we will find out how he is as a coach. So that's what I think of that. Portland's going to be doing some movements. I don't know if CJ McCollum is going to be a part of what they're doing. Their center position is going to be tinkered with, I'd imagine. I don't expect that either one of those centers are going to be back, to be honest with you. I don't expect it. So we'll see. Portland has a lot to do. They have a lot to do to improve their team, and I think they did the right thing here with this hire. So next name that we're going to talk about is the Boston Celtics hiring Ime Udoka. I don't think I've said his name correctly, but Ime Udoka. Now, the thing I know about Ime Udoka is that he has been hovering around coaching as an assistant coach for a while now. He came up under this Greg Popovich tree, so we know that right there tells you that he's going to come in knowing some things. He's going to come in with some intangibles. Every coach that comes from that tree comes in with that type of thing. His reputation is that of somebody who works hard. He's been a guy that's been in the league for many years as both a player. He played for the Lakers, played for the Spurs, several other teams as well. If I remember his game correctly, he was a defensive guy, could hit the three. His days with the Lakers are mostly early on. I think he was a rookie with us, so that's vague for me. But I do remember him with the Spurs, and he was a serviceable guy off the bench that really helped. Had some big scoring games, that kind of thing. So it's from that perspective, he has experience and he's going to be able to connect with some players. It's a very important hire because he's the first African American coach of the Boston Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's how that went. So that was a big deal. Congratulations to him and his family. Fun fact: he's married to Nia Long, actress. So that's really cool. And he's going to come in with with a job to do, and that job is to make sure that he connects with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and that he's able to push them into a winning environment quickly. Neither one of these players are looking to take steps backwards, and I think the Celtics have kind of teetered around that for a while now. Now that they have Brad Stevens moving up, Danny Ainge moving up, the hierarchy has changed a bit, and it's going to be kind of a trickle down type of thing, I'd imagine, with how they're moving and the dynamic that they now have in place in Boston. So there's some changes there, but I think those changes are speaking to the right things, and we'll see how Ume does. Same goes for Chauncey Billups in Ume's case. I don't believe he's ever had a coaching job before, not a head coaching job, so we will find out what type of philosophies that he has. Those who know him as an assistant coach may have a better understanding than I do. Same goes for Chauncey. But when it comes to this kind of thing, I'm looking to learn, and the Boston Celtics is an appealing situation, just like Portland is. You got some established stars already in place, ready to win right now. And, some guys at the top who know what they're doing as well, in Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge. So we'll see where they go from here. The Boston has some things to work on in regards to their roster too. We'll see what they do there. Their point guard position, I hear Kemba Walker may be on the trading block. We will see what they do with their center position as well, because they have some guys in place now that are really intriguing with the trade that they just made, picking up Moses Brown and still having Time Lord on the squad as well. So you want to pay attention to their center position. It's really intriguing stuff going on in Boston, and I don't think they're done trading. I don't think they're done willing and dealing. So that's one of the hires as well that I wanted to speak about. Let's see, who else? There was some more stuff going on. God, my mind went blank. But okay, the third hire, we're going to talk about the Indiana Pacers hiring Rick Carlisle. Tremendous hire. I said this last season. I kind of called this in Dallas. It wasn't that anyone had lost faith in Rick Carlisle. It just comes to a point where a guy gets to a point where it's time to move on. And I felt like this was a great time to do that. I did. Now, it turns out there was some turmoil going on in Dallas. I'm not really clear on the details of what exactly the energy was there. But from what I understand, that was basically the reason why Rick Carlisle walked away from the Dallas Mavericks. He was not fired. He just simply decided he wanted to go in a different direction. And like I said, great time for it as far as I'm concerned. Indiana is a place he used to be at. If I'm not mistaken, he coached there or was an assistant coach there. Either way, that's a place that he has roots. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does there, because I look at him as one of the top coaches in the league. Early on with the Dallas Mavericks, we remember him winning a championship. I would expect that he's going to put the Indiana Pacers in a much better position to win than they've been in the past. They have some talent there. It's really good. Obviously, Malcolm Brogdon, Domantas Sabonis, Caris LeVert, and they found some guys as well this season that can really, really help them. Obviously, as well, T.J. McConnell, I think he's a free agent. I don't know if he's a priority or not, but he certainly raised his value this year as well. So, Indiana Pacers are an intriguing team. I think they're an underrated team going forward, and I think they have a good pick in this draft, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, they're in the top 15 for sure. So, either way, I think Rick Carlisle is walking into a pretty solid situation. You like that center position that they have there with Sabonis, and that's going to be kind of the focal point. Is he going to change Sabonis' style of play? Because we know Sabonis is one of the last remaining post players in the league, but he's not afraid to shoot the ball. He's not afraid to do some other things, and he's a fantastic playmaker and rebounder on top of that as well. So with him ascending into another tier of stardom, I would expect Rick Carlisle is going to take him to that next level and start turning the Pacers into a playoff team. He's that kind of coach. I would expect the changes to be immediate in terms of them playing better and him implementing his style. So I like the move. I like the move. It takes a certain type of personality, in my opinion, to leave Dallas. And in terms of like leaving an organization with all the vibes there, with Dallas being as it is as a city, as with the Cowboys being next door, with You got Jerry Jones and obviously Mark Cuban in the same vicinity. Like that's a certain type of environment. You're gonna leave that and you're gonna go to Indiana where it's more quiet. You're kind of focusing on basketball a lot more. I'm curious to see how he's going to adjust to the change in the type of situation that's going to be. I personally think he's going to thrive because he's been there before and he knows Indiana. And there is going to be more of a focus on just basketball there. Indiana, the state is known for basketball. It's got like a college atmosphere. I think that can be very, very, very good for Rick Carlisle. I do. So I think he could do some things with the Pacers that we haven't seen before. I'll go as far as to say that. I think we could see the Pacers do some things we haven't seen. So, yeah, very intriguing. Very intriguing. Okay, so the next name we're going to talk about is one of my favorite guys. Somebody won a championship with my Lakers as an assistant coach. He's going to get an opportunity to take Rick Carlisle's place in Dallas as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. And look, we've seen Jason Kidd as a coach before. In certain situations, he thrived, and in others, not so much. But I think he's come into this Lakers situation, which was really, really unique, with the reputation as a head coach, with most people thinking that he was coming there to take Vogel's job and possibly that could possibly be a disruptor, when in actuality, it was the complete opposite. The three-headed coaching monster that the Lakers had were successful. And I speak of the three-headed coaching monster in Vogel, Jason Kidd, and Lionel Hollins. And you can throw Handy in there as well. We have a fantastic coaching environment, and I think that what you see in here is guys from that starting to get opportunities, and hopefully Jason Kidd is the first domino to fall in that regard. He's just a fantastic presence for that Laker team that won the championship particularly. And I don't know that without his presence we win. So for him to get this opportunity, I think it's a good one. For him to be coming back to the coaching ranks, I think he's paid his dues to get back this far. As far as what he's going to be able to do, well, I mean, you're looking at a guy who has been in Luka's position. We remember that, Jason Kidd was drafted to the Dallas Mavericks and was a star there. Coming out, obviously won Rookie of the Year there. Left the Dallas Mavericks, eventually came back and was a part of a championship with the Dallas Mavericks as their point guard, leading the helm for that team that beat LeBron and the Heat. So he has a very, very extensive history with the Dallas Mavericks, and because of it, I think he can help Luka Doncic navigate through what's next, because I think Luka's in a place where he's not as happy. I think he doesn't like the fact that some of the things that have been done. I think whatever turmoil is going on is probably affecting that young player, and I think he's looking for greener pastures. What Jason Kidd will do was give him somebody who has some relatability to maybe what his experience is as a star in Dallas, and ultimately somebody who has a similar skill set and a similar mindset as it pertains to being a savant of the game and a natural superstar in basketball. I think you're hiring Jason Kidd because he's the one person who's probably going to be able to relate to Luka Doncic, not only on the court but possibly off it. So it's a fantastic hire if you're considering the two dynamics that does present. It's a perfect storm. So in theory, just off that, it's a no-brainer. As I've said, Jason Kidd has had some success as a head coach, but he's also had some funny situations. I remember when it was a situation where he kind of tripped somebody, if I'm not mistaken, or spilt a drink. I don't know, but he kind of spilled over on the floor, did something he shouldn't have done as a head coach, and I think he did it against my Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, it was one of those things that it made you wonder about his decision making as a coach. It made you wonder if he's going to keep his poise in situations like that. I remember there was some stuff going on surrounding his tenures with both Milwaukee and Brooklyn. So with that being said, there's room for this to go both ways. It can go as a fantastic hire, or you can totally see where it doesn't work out. But I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and I think it makes sense. So that's where I am with that hire. So let's see. I don't know if there was another one. I might have missed somebody. But what I do know is that there probably will be more coaching uh, jobs opening up. I think there's still some to be determined, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be looking at what happens here with these four teams, in fact, that are still involved. Ty Lue and you don't have to worry about Ty Lue. He's not going to be. The job is just fine. Same goes for the Suns coach. I think they're going to go on and win the championship, so there's no issue there with Monty Williams. He's doing a fantastic job. I'm looking more at Budenholzer. Obviously, the Atlanta Hawks, they ain't considering their coach either, so that in that. But I'm looking at Budenholzer. If they don't get to the finals, if they're not able to beat these Hawks, I think there's a chance they may move on from him. I think there's a chance. And there are some other teams as well out there, maybe not in these playoffs. That was a bit mistaken there. But yeah, there are other teams out there that you can definitely see taking a look at their coaching situation and seeing what happens there. But what I'm encouraged by is the idea that I think the guys that just got hired have a chance of keeping their jobs for a little bit. These are organizations that seem to be making sound decisions in their rebuilding efforts. That's what I like about all of those circumstances. Each one of them looks like a pretty good situation for both parties. So, yeah, that's what I got for you guys, man. Just want to give you a little update on how I'm viewing these coaching situations. And so far, I like them all. I think they're all good hires. And a thing that really does resonate, of course, with me as an African-American is the fact that a lot of these guys are black. They are getting opportunities. And, that's a cool thing to see. We like seeing ourselves get opportunities. And if we're the right people for the job, I support that. If we're not the right people for the job, then move on and look for somebody who is. But that we get those same opportunities, I think, is what we're all asking for. And so it's really cool to see us qualify and get these jobs. But anyway, so that's what I got, man. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.